By the year 2049, humanity attained a state of high-efficiency silence. We refined our environments until they were seamless and sterile, but the cost was a total atrophy of the spirit. Billions lived in a state of emotional withdrawal, their attention permanently fixed on artificial light. This mass detachment functioned as more than a sociological trend. It represented the first visible fracture in a planetary security protocol that had been running silently for millennia. Evidence of the breakdown surfaced in an Antarctic observatory, where researchers intercepted a repeating mathematical pulse. The signal originated from the deep crust, vibrating upward through the ice rather than falling from the sky. Standard translation arrays produced 7 words that immediately placed every global government on a war footing. Your species has abandoned its post. Attempts to decipher the rest of the transmission resulted in total system collapse. High-level AI and military encryption protocols failed to identify the logic governing the signal, as if the code were written in a language the machines were never meant to hear. Clarity only arrived when a child listened to the frequency. She recognized a tone of distress in the math, a realization that exposed a hidden warning within the sequence. The guardian species is failing. Humanity had spent its entire history believing Earth was a home. In reality, we were a specialized workforce, stationed here to maintain a specific, forgotten function. The first physical symptoms of this failure appeared in the deep ocean. Marine life began performing a massive, coordinated exodus from a precise set of coordinates above the Mariana Trench, leaving a vast stretch of the Pacific completely devoid of biological activity. Probes sent into the abyss vanished, but not before mapping a structure buried 11 kilometers beneath the seafloor. It was a geometric construction of impossible scale, its lines too precise to be a product of natural geology. Analysis of the surrounding rock showed the structure predates the Moon. Earth did not naturally produce this object. The planet's crust formed around it, layer by layer, over billions of years. Astrophysicist Elias Vale found the missing link between this structure and ourselves. He identified a complex sequence within human junk DNA, a series of mathematical instructions that had no biological purpose. The code in our cells is a blueprint. It shares the exact mathematical dimensions and symmetry found in the deep ocean structure, suggesting a direct functional link between human biology and the buried machine. Our evolution appears to be an engineered project. We were developed as a specialized hardware interface, designed to interact with a system that was buried before the first cell ever divided on this planet. The design of our species prioritized a single trait, the capacity for volatile, high-intensity emotion. We were built to feel. Human emotions like grief, love, and fear generate specific, measurable frequencies. Synchronized, 8 billion minds cast a planetary containment mesh, holding the subterranean structure in stasis. But as modern life drifts into emotional neutrality, the power drops. The field thins, dissolving our stabilizing barrier. As our emotional output flatlines, the containment system is powering down. Deep beneath the crust, the occupant of the structure is finally detecting the change and beginning to stir. Elias Vale's team descended into the trench to witness the breach. Their lights revealed that the structure was not built from dead matter. It was an organic, shifting surface, a colossal entity that had been held in a forced slumber for ages. The entity within is a being of such magnitude that its presence bends the laws of physics. In its natural state, its thoughts ripple through the fabric of space, inadvertently collapsing any star systems that drift too close. Ancient civilizations, fearing this unintentional destruction, could not kill the being. Instead, they built Earth as its container and seeded it with a species whose chaotic feelings would act as a perpetual anchor. As the field failed, the entity reached out. It projected a wave of shared memories into the minds of every living person. For hours, humanity experienced the entity's perspective, not as a monster, but as a consciousness that has spent eons in solitary confinement, watching the universe pass by from behind a veil of human noise. The dreams revealed a crushing sense of isolation. The entity was not struggling to escape and destroy. It was simply exhausted by its own exile, projecting a silent plea for the end of its loneliness. This discovery forced a global decision. We could attempt to reignite our own collective trauma and fear to reinforce the containment field, or we could allow the frequency to fail and face the consequences of a reality shared with a god. During the final moments of the expedition, the child who first heard the signal asked the entity if it was afraid. The response was a single resonant pulse of yes, the first honest connection between the guardian and the guarded. Our creators believed we would always use our emotions to keep the door shut. They didn't realize that empathy could be used as a key. As the golden light spills, we chose to stop being the guards.